Hey, welcome to our new podcast. Number one, the name of our podcast is His and Hers. Reason why is we have opinions. His opinion, her opinion. And we would love to hear your opinion. So my name is David, and I've been a firefighter for 33 years. In my firehouse, it's pretty much an HR nightmare. I mean, our opinions run rampant amongst ourselves. We opinion about everything. We stereotype everybody. So we believe in tough skin. It doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are, what preference, sexual preference you prefer, or what religion. We never say anything with malice. We say everything with love and humor. We have the best time, the tightest bonds, and we would like to bring that to you with that understanding that it is our opinion, and we will not say anything or do anything in an offensive manner. And this is Deanna.
Hi. I am a writer and also a food blogger of Seduction in the Kitchen. I have a lot of opinions, and especially when I'm writing some of these romance novels, it's amazing how your opinion can get you some creative edges there. So we like to start off this podcast and talk about demasculation of the men.
What happened to today's men? Oh, such a bunch of, won't say the word.
What's this?
Yeah, we'll go with that. But if you notice in today's TV programming, our commercials, our movies, it seems like it's everywhere that the men are just foolish and idiots, and the women seem to be like the alphas. So that makes the men the betas? What happened to this? What changed in today's society to where all of a sudden now roles are reversed? Me personally, I think it all started with the Michael Jordan Mia Hamm commercial way back when, where she used to say, anything you can do, I can do better. Well, he's Michael Jordan. You can't beat him in basketball. He's Michael Jordan. Probably couldn't beat him in baseball either.
You know, as you were saying that, I was just starting to think of some movies that have just come out. Now, we're all fans of Marvel movies, but one thing that's kind of sticking out in my mind is Thor, Love and Thunder.
Hated it. Sorry.
Like, Thor, when you think of Thor, you think of this big, muscular, masculine god, and he became a wimp.
Like, how about the Fast and Furious 10 with, what's his name that plays Aquaman?
Oh, Jason Momoa.
Mr. Floyd,
It's just like at one point,
flamboyance.
like, if you look at some of just like a classic movie like Ocean's 11, they weren't crying; they were robbing a bank. But now we got, oh my God, I'm scared. Let's do that. That's not a man. That's not what I want to go to the movies and see. I'm there to live in a fiction fantasy world. I want to see an alpha man right up there on the screen, and fortunately, I'm getting Blue Beetle. No, I don't want that. So.
As a wimpy kid, that just, poor character. Did not like that movie at all. But yeah, I mean, there's no alpha in some of these male characters nowadays.
No.
And don't get me wrong. I don't think that women always take a back seat. I don't think women should be. But there should be some mutual give and take, especially in today's society, and some equality with the confidence and the strength and the competitiveness that makes somebody an alpha.
Yeah.
I mean, do women really want a beta male? Do they want some little wimpy guy that's like, oh, yes, I don't know.
I do write romance books, and one of the biggest genres...
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Real quick, what differs between a man and a woman? Alpha men, we're like action movies, thrillers, mystery. Women, what do they like? Romance novels, drama. It's like, hello. So as she was saying, she writes romance novels.
Right. And one of the things is werewolf stories are huge. And you have your alpha and your beta. And all the women want the alpha. Everybody loves that dominance, that take charge type of guy. Is the number one seller when it comes to these romance books, especially like what I write. Women want that. You want that man that's just
That's strength. That's security.
That takes charge. Now, personally, I will admit, I am attracted to an alpha male. I like when the guy's in charge.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it's sexy. It's a turn on. Not this.
Yeah, I don't know if any woman would be like, yeah, that's my man. He's running away. Oh, yeah, that's who I'm with.
No. And it's not just the alpha. It's just, there's an aura about them. There's a confidence about them. And that's one of the things a lot of people talk about. Even anybody that's attractive, what's the number one thing you notice? Confidence. What's an alpha male? Confidence. What's a delta? That's the kid that sits in the back of that class with glasses and doesn't know what a girl even is. That's a delta. You don't want that. No. But that's how we're going anymore, unfortunately.
And the media and our politicians, it's just, everybody seems to be pushing it that way. You cannot be an alpha male. You are not, it's a crime to be an alpha male. Yeah. And in lack of a better term for it, it's like you gotta apologize for being an alpha male.
I think you gotta apologize for anything anymore. You can't have an opinion on anything.
Nope. And we're doing opinions, right?
Right.
Including yours. All right, so where does this problem start? Where are all these friggin' betas coming from, right? And as we said, like TV shows, programming, commercials, movies and all that. But I think it starts with the parents. Because something called tough love when I grew up. Tough love was, my father said, suck it up. Learn from it. Get stronger. Build your confidence. Compete. And I played sports pretty much my whole youth. And I didn't like losing. And when you don't like losing, you play harder. You work out harder. You train harder. Because you want to win. You like that winning feeling. And that's gone. Right now, we got helicopter parents that just hover over their children and protect them from everything and don't want their feelings to be hurt. The whole everybody gets a trophy. You took away the competitiveness.
Speaking of like everybody gets a trophy, I remember I was probably about 14 or 15 years old. And that's when that started to kind of come out a little bit, where you got a participation trophy. And I was on a softball team, and the long story short was, we were a horrible team. We never won anything. And all of a sudden we got this trophy. I remember looking at the trophy going, why did I get this? I didn't earn it. I showed up. But I don't know, there's a difference between actually winning the trophy and then just having something handed to you. There's a pride that you got. And I remember feeling that at 14 when I would just give this, like, it didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't earn that trophy. I never won it. It was just given to me because I showed up to play that day. That's what
you hit it on the nose. Pride.
It's pride. Like, you can't tell me when you do something and you do something from ground zero and you don't know, and you teach yourself, and all of a sudden you just win it. And it's like that sense of pride and accomplishment. I did this. I did it on my own. I won this. I did it. You feel it. Somebody goes, well, better luck next time. Here's a cookie. It doesn't feel the same. It really doesn't. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, I think today's children don't know any different. They play just for joy. Let's not keep score. Huh? Not keep score? How do you know who wins or loses? Oh, everybody wins. No, everybody doesn't win. I mean, our children nowadays, even our young adults, there's no competitiveness in them. There's no challenge. they don't know how to deal with the negative side of life because they've been pampered all the way to today, and they have no idea how to deal with a terrible situation. And I think that's a huge reason why there's so much depression in our world right now. So doctors are just pill pushers for depression medicines, you know, and it's like a pill form. I mean, it's like, but these kids don't know how to deal when somebody does not give a crap, and they're like, "What do you mean? Don't I get something?" No.
But you know, that's a good point, because was a study at one point that said, why are 10-year-olds getting GERD? Because they worry, they stress because they don't know what they're doing. At 10 years old, you should not have to worry about, because you have acid indigestion. That's something for someone in their 50s that has a mortgage and bills to pay. At 10 years old, you should be...
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. And it's huge. It's really huge that these kids, because their parents have protected them so much, the kids are actually worried, and now they got in acid reflux because they really don't know what to do.
So I was listening to the news the other day. I hear the millennials out there are ticked off with their parents because their parents are not babysitting the children, their grandchildren. And it's like the millennials think, hey, you owe this to me. And the parents are like, no, we don't. And I think it's a very interesting study at how when you give your children everything and they don't have to earn it or work for it, what have you taught them?
You know, when you said that,
Life's lessons. Where have they gone?
I was a latchkey kid. You know, nowadays you can't be a latchkey kid because your parents will go to jail. But to be honest with you, that's how I learned to be self-sufficient. You know, I'm a 8-year-old kid with 2 sisters, and we had to come home and start dinner because mom was at work and so was dad. I mean, that's the other thing. There's no responsibility with these kids. Everything is so pampered with them that I work with some 18-year-olds, and they literally don't even know how to use a stove. And it's like, really? You can't even like just make grilled cheese? They really don't know what to do, and it's a shame when you see them like actually struggling. It's like not that hard. Hell, half of them can't even add 2 + 2, which is without a calculator, which is another subject.
Oh, so I was at Publix, and the power went out. The girl did not know how to work to add anything up without that little scanner thing. Just totally oblivious. And it's just goes to show you that, I mean, I think technology has made life really easy. I'm back in the day where we had an old rotary phone. You know, we had pagers, had to go to a payphone. Technology has made life a lot easier, but I think it's taken away a lot of independence in a sense of you learning an alternative way to do things when technology fails.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the generation where we didn't have all this technology. So when something doesn't work, I remember how to do things from before the technology. Where these kids nowadays, young adults, all grew up on computers, which could probably run circles around me on a computer. But grew up on computers, grew up on the technology, and it's only gotten more advanced, much quicker, faster. But I think that has taken away. Oh, of course, talk about playing sports, right? Kids, they don't play anymore. They don't go outside and play. It's all on the gaming consoles. I mean, every day I was out there playing football, baseball, soccer, basketball. It didn't matter. Every day after school, I had an Atari. So, I mean, I played my Atari great, but every day after school we were out there. We were riding our bikes. And this is back when your parents used to go, be back before dark. And you went wherever the hell you wanted. No supervision.
You know what stands out? George Carlin, before he passed away, one of his last comedy specials, he was talking about how kids are not allowed to have imagination. He said, We were out when I was a kid.
Don't tell Disney.
When you go outside, you got a stick. You're digging to China. You know the kid's not going to go to China. But it was his imagination. He really thought. So he was playing in the dirt. Nowadays, according to George Carlin, kid would go out with a stick and, what are you doing? Digging to China. Oh my God, there's something wrong with him. Oh my God, call the doctor. There's something wrong with my child. Why? He thinks he can go to China. He's digging. And it's like, wait a minute. We've actually just hindered the child, that they're not allowed to even have imagination. Everything is pre-planned for them. Everything's pre-done for them. Like he said with the computers, I mean, just the old-fashioned, just, little golden books, you remember them? They don't exist anymore because it's all on a computer. Oh, look, just read. And it reads the words for you. They don't even have to read. It's a shame. It's like, wow, we really have, we've lost innocence is what we've done. We've lost.
I wouldn't say innocence. Innocence, I think, in children, and it's there to begin with. All children are innocent. Children just don't see anything besides the best in life. I think it's the parents that corrupt the children
Yeah.
and destroy them. And just,
Well, that's like the kids. Kids today do not know the word no. They do not know that word.
And whose fault is that? Theirs or the parents?
It's definitely the parents. I remember.
Let me tell you what, she's got 2 dogs. They know what no means.
Yeah.
When I raise my voice, they know what I mean business.
Yeah.
And they listen very well.
Kids don't.
Why are kids different? They're not.
Well, it's like, okay, I want a cookie. No. I want a cookie. No. Kid throws himself down on the ground, screaming his little head off. I want a cookie. Okay, here's your cookie. Now, what did he learn? The louder I scream, the more I'm going to get that cookie. And yes, that's a true story. I've seen that at the grocery store.
Seen it everywhere. It's more, do whatever it takes to shut the kid up because the parent does not want a parent. That's really what it is. They don't want a parent. And you can't spank a child anymore. Go to jail for that. How's a kid supposed to learn? You can only say no so much until you, okay, whatever, just shut up. Before, it was, let's talk about school, in school, right? I don't know about how many of you misbehaved or got in trouble, whatever. I used to be terrified of getting in trouble because I knew not only would I get paddled in the principal's office, I'd go home and get paddled by my parents. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty much a good kid.
Well, my parents never actually hit us. Mom would give us a look, and you're like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. And that they don't have the fear of God. Like, parents just don't put that fear into the children
Parents
anymore.
are not allowed to put that fear in God anymore.
I just remember, it was just the thought that you could get into trouble. Like, oh God, Dad's going to come home and he's going to whoop us.
All that we're talking about has been removed from today's society that has created just a bunch of wimps, created a bunch of betas. And I know we're talking about demasculinity, of the male, but
it all kind of it's stemming from the same place because
it all stems from the same place.
It truthfully is. Like, all right, we're talking about demasculating the male. Like, I know at one point women I just want a more sensitive man. Okay, which I get that. Like, when you're having a really bad day and you just want that guy, like, sweetie, it's going to be okay. We've got this. Okay, I want that type of sensitivity. But I don't want a feminized male.
There you go. The ultimate man, right, is an alpha male who knows when to be a beta. But that's about a compromise, right? That's about prioritizing what you want, you need, and everything like that. And when it's not one of your priorities, learning to be like, okay, I'll be beta right now. Go for it.
Yeah. We've really feminized guys. Come on. Man bun.
Oh, man bun. Woo! Yeah, I cannot have a man bun, thank God. Whoever thought that was cool? No.
It doesn't look good. I'm sorry. You put your hair up in a little man bun and you sip in your tea and do your It's not for me. I'm sorry. I mean,
I get heartburn every time you think about man bun. Oh, what makes a man think that? Oh man, God, I look good with this thing. Yeah, macho and everything. No.
Well, actually, I do kind of know a little
Crazy.
history about a man bun, and it has to do with war that happened way back in because men did have longer hair and all that. They would tie it up into the bun so they go into attack because they don't want their hair getting just blown back on the attack.
Well, great, but these people are not at war.
They're not. They're sipping tea and doing yoga.
Oh, man. Talk about demasculation. Oh my gosh.
But then again, we do have guys that wear kilts, and there is something kind of sexy about a kilt.
Well, kilt's a little. It's not a skirt. It's a kilt.
So on the other hand, you kind of do have that. But the movie Clueless always comes to mind. There's a line in it that Cher says, "I don't get these guys anymore. They wake up out of bed, they put a baseball cap on backwards on their greasy hair, and we're supposed to swoon over that." And it is true. I mean, there are guys that pamper themselves. The metrosexuals.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, come
In
on.
fact, I'm a very strong alpha male, but I am definitely a metrosexual. I take care of myself, my hygiene. Love a spa day. Spa days are freaking just being pampered and spa days, which I'm about to miss one. January 2nd, is it?
Yep, January 2nd.
And I'm leaving the country and coming back January 3rd.
The Ritz-Carlton here in Orlando, Florida, they have a spa. And actually, they invited me to come do... Actually, they invited both of us, but he is not going to be here. For a full day of pampering and to showcase what they do. And...
She's made no attempt to move that date.
No. In fact, he also, because he had to work, he also missed another one, which I did recently at the Hyatt Regency. When it comes to...
I think she's doing it deliberately.
Yes, I am. I am. I'm a woman, and we like to tease the guys, don't we? So I have to tease this one when he misses out on some of the good stuff.
Not fair. Not on a spa day. Winning lottery, I can miss. Spa day, no. Unfortunately, I don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
But, just because, like you said, as I said, I'm a metrosexual. I just am very clean, organized, keep myself hygiene. There's nothing wrong. You can be an alpha male and metro and enjoy those kind of things. You can be gay and enjoy those kind of things. You can be anybody and enjoy those things. I think everybody should enjoy spa days. But you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just thinking, one of the things like about spa guys, when you said about being clean and all that stuff, and you all women will agree with me on this. When you see a guy get himself all dressed up in a nice suit and he looks, wow, he could be working on a car, but you clean him up, put him in like a tuxedo, holy crap, he's a panty dropper. It's the same thing. When you have a guy...
Masculinity, and I think you hit it right. It's making men into feminine, not like making them more feminine instead of being a man, but enjoying, recognizing yourself and taking care of yourself.
Right. I mean, give me a clean-cut guy any day. I'll take a metro guy because it shows that he actually cares about himself.
South Park did a show on metrosexuals. Hilarious. Pull it up and watch it. That's actually where I learned what metrosexual was, believe it or not. Never heard the term, and it came out in the fire department, and like all the guys were laughing because it sounded so whatever, and it was hilarious as far as them looking at me like, "Hey, that's you." I'm like, "Oh, great!" So I got ragged on for like weeks.
Well, I will admit there's one thing about metrosexuals that I'm like, it always makes me go, I just don't get it. Manicure, pedicures, I have nothing against them getting manicure, pedicure, but when they get
No polish.
the nail polish.
No polish.
I can understand if they're a rock star and they get the black nail polish because, you know, that's
Yeah.
part of the rock star lifestyle. But when you see like purple and blue, and I've seen some red, I'm like, the
They
only
always
time,
ask me, do you want clear? Nope.
the only time I will admit it is kind of cute is when you have the little girl paints daddy's toenails and
Well,
he's stuck with pig.
that's
a little different.
That's very different. That
That's
is
cute.
him
That
like,
is
all
cute.
right, go ahead, you know. It's him making his little girl happy.
Right. That's a little different.
The little boy starts doing it, start asking questions.
Well,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
yeah, I would say nowadays, you know, you're supposed to let the child choose what sexuality they want to be, even if they don't actually understand it yet. But that's another podcast for another day.
Whole other topic.
But so I hope you liked listening to us ramble on today.
Rambling's a good word. Like I said, we look forward to your feedback. We look forward to your comments. We would like to know topics you would like to hear our opinion and comment on that. This video, as I said in the beginning, is not meant to be offensive or hurtful to anybody. Everything is done with no malice, humor, and love, because we respect your opinion. If you agree or disagree with us, we still respect your opinion. And you have the right to have your opinion.
You know, that actually would make for another good, possibly the next one. It seems like everybody takes offense at so many things that everybody just suddenly becomes a victim for everything. Everybody has the victim.
Now, that started happening a couple years ago, where things we used to say, people just, there's like water on a duck's back. You know, you just shrugged it off. You didn't care. You didn't even hear it. Now, people comment on things. People sit back and actually think, how can this offend me? And they find a way, and they develop some strange scenario in their mind of, that's how this can offend me. And then they run with it.
True, but also on the flip side of that, where people do try to stand up for themselves, they get quickly shut down because they're afraid of being labeled. And it goes with the victim mentality a little bit too. Everybody is so quick to throw out terms that somebody who may always be like maybe passive, and suddenly one day they just stand up for themselves. Like, quit being a victim. I was just trying to defend myself. I'm not being a victim. It just, things are so warped anymore that literally nobody can actually say their opinions.
So that's for another podcast if you'd like to hear it. Yeah. So rambling on part 2.
Yes. So you'll have to listen to that rambling another day.
So thank you for listening.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope we make you laugh, and continue to grow our podcast, because your comments, your opinions are going to help direct the direction that this podcast will take. The topics we discuss will be based on the feedback we get. And
you can help us shape this podcast.
And this podcast is about you. Mm-hmm. Because we will voice your opinion. We will refer to what we read in the comments.
Yeah. So help us grow, and we'll help you grow as well. So until the next time, I'm Deanna.
And I'm David.
And we'll talk
The
to you
sidekick.
again. The sidekick. And well, this is his.
Well,
and
you're the
hers.
hostess with the mostest, as they say, and I'm just the sidekick.
So next time, tune in to his and hers. Thank you.